system activated. 13 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, main engine 4, 3, 2, 1.
Our mics weren't on.
Oh, God, we're on.
We're good.
Oh, Jesus, they heard us. Hey, everybody, how you doing tonight?
Hey, everybody.
Way to go to start, Mike. Way to good start. Good start. Good start.
I always say I'm going to have an intro for you, and I never do. Maybe next week we'll try to figure one.
Next week, we're going live. We're doing it live.
At 607 pounds, Seth Holbrook, ladies and gentlemen. Yay.
Thank you very much. And weighing over here at 2 pounds, he's done his homework. Ladies and gentlemen, Mike McBride.
I have done my homework. Thank you for acknowledging that.
Damn right.
This is Ringside Review, the only show on iRadio Network, Waco, at the time.
Right now. Good job, Mike. Good job. Why don't you introduce our guest here who's had an exhausted night?
The gimmick I'm working on is the dumb guy gimmick.
Gotcha.
We have a very special guest in the house tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, the devil's favorite demon. That's
right.
Okay, the devil's favorite demon. It's gotta be Kane. Yay.
Hey, Kane, how you feeling today? I understand you can't talk.
Okay. Oh, he doesn't have his voice box.
That's right. Doesn't have his voice box.
He got hit with the chair in the throat.
That's
tonight.
right. I'm sorry. Well, at least we're glad that you made it, Kane.
We're so happy you still decided to be on the show. It's good to see you, Kane. Maybe you'll feel like talking in a few minutes. Okay? Okay, good.
Let's give it up for Kane one more time.
One more time for Kane. Good
All right,
job.
Mike, let's get on with the news. Let's get on with this one person who's paying attention, listening to us.
I think that one person is you, but okay.
That's what I mean. It's me.
Oh, you're paying attention.
I'm paying attention. You do your homework. I pay attention.
It is November 27th.
November
currently.
27th. Oh, Mike, by the way, I hope you had a great Thanksgiving.
Oh, I hope you had a Thanksgiving as well.
Well, at least I ain't got to.
What was
joking.
your work schedule this week?
Oh, God. 2 o'clock to 2 a.m. 2 p.m. to 2 a.m., folks. And there was a rodeo in town. Working at a bar.
Was
it
there
fun.
a rodeo in town?
Yes, there was. Junior livestock show. Not bad.
Okay. Anyway. Hold on. Just hold on. I forgot something.
Oh, God. He forgot the most prestigious title of all time, folks, because we brought it back from Survivor Series. Ladies and gentlemen, the championship title of Ringside Review that is now held by the legendary Mike McBride. Mike, please show the title. It's showing its glory.
Last name?
McBride.
That's not my last name. We were just talking. We were just talking before the show went on the air about how we've known each other for 20 years. And you don't know my last name after all
Mike McBride. What's so hard about that?
You keep saying McBride.
No, I say bride. I never say bride.
You said bride.
I did not say bride.
Twice just now.
Oh, BS. I said bride. No, we're not doing that. You're not Danny McBride.
Okay, watch this. If you're watching this on YouTube,
which is only us two,
which we do have a YouTube account.
Well, tell them what it's the page.
It's like Hot Air Online. I forget what I had to name it.
Oh God.
Well, we'll try to. I'll try. I put a link to it on our Facebook page last week. I'll do another one this week.
Okay.
But go back to, I believe it's the 3-minute mark, maybe, and just look for that.
You are so full of love.
I know what I'm talking about. Anyway, this past weekend, the big story was it's the return of Starrcade, kind of.
Sort of.
It wasn't a pay-per-view. It was a live event.
Yes.
my theory as to why this was only a live event and not televised was because they were trying to up ticket sales, which is crazy because that's a technique they would use back in the 80s.
When Starrcade was irrelevant.
It's kind of when Starrcade was originally around, they do this where they'd close out, they'd black out the TV screenings if you were in the area, so that you'd have to go to the show.
Yeah.
The most infamous one was WrestleMania 3, the Silverdome, where you got to feel bad for those fans because they were turning away fans because they'd sold out. But the broadcast was still blacked out in their area, so everyone around the Pontiac, Michigan area didn't get to see WrestleMania 3 that weren't in the stadium.
They didn't get to see the moment of all moments when Hulk Hogan picked up Andre the Giant.
Yeah,
that's sad. Well, not anymore. Actually, just Andre the Giant just picked himself up and threw himself down. Remember the whole Hulk Hogan thing? So never happened.
Oh yeah. Well, no. Hogan will be back.
He'll be back. He'll always back.
Couple interesting things. Oh, I wouldn't have a. Oh, I didn't. I'll get to it in a second.
Okay.
Well, first, we'll talk about one of my favorite moments from that night was. I'm stalling for time, trying to load up the image. Was Arn Anderson made an in-ring appearance?
Oh, yes, he did. Was he like a guest enforced referee or something, or?
I don't know what was going on with it because I couldn't watch the show.
No, I didn't either. Same here.
Because it wasn't.
You had to go to go to WWE.com and just see like little clips of left and right of what was going on, which was so disappointing. Why would you do that? I just don't understand.
It's to get ticket sales up because WWE's gotten to the point now where they're having a hard time selling tickets for things, which is a shame.
It's a shame.
But Arn Anderson did the spine buster on Dolph Ziggler.
It looked
great,
and it was amazing. It was perfect. He didn't miss. He still got it. It's a.
I wonder how old he is now.
No kidding.
One of the other big highlights was the return of the Natural.
Oh yeah,
Dustin Rhodes.
Dustin Rhodes showed up, and he had he had the same outfit on. I wonder how the hell did he fit in those damn pants?
Where's my Dustin Rhodes picture? I just had one.
And he had the old country theme song of his.
Yeah, I did watch the interview he did on WWE.com.
Yeah,
and which I liked. Oh, that's because I saved it to the wrong place. Whoops.
Well, folks, what happens when he starts in there? It starts playing the Gold Dust theme song, and he's got the Gold Dust robe, but he's like kind of has his head down with the robe over him and the hood. And then, when he undoes it, takes it off, and he's the Natural, Dustin Rhodes, and they play the old WCW theme song that he had.
Was it WCW or WWE? He had that song.
WCW.
It must have been because I didn't remember that.
Because he was always Gold Dust in the WWE.
He was talking about how awful the song was.
Oh yeah, but he still laughed and smirked. It brought a lot of memories, flooded back, and how it was very special to him because this is his dad's idea with Starrcade.
Well,
he helped it.
It was funny because in his interview he goes, "I just want to thank Daniel Bryan." By the way, I do an excellent Gold Dust. I just want to thank Daniel Bryan for inviting me over here tonight for the show. And I was just laughing. I was like, because it's supposed to be like this really genuine, heartfelt shoot interview, but he's thanking Daniel Bryan. Daniel Bryan, for those of you who don't know, plays the character of the general manager of SmackDown.
And Starrcade
but in real life, he's just an actor.
Yeah. Wasn't Starrcade a SmackDown show, right?
Yeah, it was supposed to be a SmackDown.
It was supposed to be a SmackDown show. And Gold Dust is on Raw.
It's just funny to me that he still slipped in the trying to save kayfabe as much as possible.
I just want to thank Gold and everything. I was waiting for him to like he normally does and just like tweaks out or something like he would, but he didn't.
I wouldn't mind that.
I wouldn't mind that at all.
The other, I guess, there wasn't a lot of noteworthy things.
Oh, wait a minute.
But I from Starrcade.
Oh, Starrcade, yeah.
Because we couldn't watch it. But AJ Styles did retain the WWE World Title in a steel cage match against Jinder Mahal. which was originally supposed to be Shinsuke Nakamura versus Jinder Mahal. And I think there was a little bit of speculation that they were going to change it to a triple threat. But I don't think they're in any rush to put AJ and Nakamura in the same ring.
Well, they don't want to ruin it yet. I'm sorry, they don't.
Ruin their hopefully, they're not ruining their WrestleMania.
Yeah, exactly.
Another big story happened over the weekend. Ken Shamrock has been talking a lot. He called out Brock Lesnar. Did you hear about this?
Yes, I did. I didn't get to read the story, but I heard about it because everybody posted it. It's like, hey, Seth, look who wants a piece of Brock Lesnar down. It's like, oh, God, okay.
He had like one condition. I forget what the condition was.
Don't let Brock Lesnar touch you? What?
I don't know. I don't know if it had to be an MMA fight or, I don't know. Ken Shamrock still,
He still wants to be a part of the business. And it's
he still has a great head of hair. This is amazing. I don't know if he dyes it or what. It's just
okay. Ken Shamrock.
There's like no like.
I have no problem seeing. Okay, yeah, I have no problem seeing this, but let's be honest. What we really want to see, and I don't know if any smart marks out there, smarks as they're called, or whatever when it comes to WWE, yes, or MMA. I'd like to see Dan the Beast Severn come out of retirement and go up against Brock.
Dan the Beast Severn's like 70 years old now. I don't. It's like
he's an old man Logan. All right, he can still do it.
It's like Undertaker's last few matches. They were just kind of just.
Oh yeah, well this is just a one-time thing.
It just got to the point where it was just like you didn't want to see him get hurt. It was sad. Or at least I might be in the minority when it comes to that. But no, he's had a good run. Let's just let it go.
Okay.
Also in the news, okay. There's been a lot of rumors that Finn Balor was supposed to be facing
Brock Lesnar.
I almost said Ken Shamrock. Brock Lesnar
at the Royal Rumble, right?
At Royal Rumble. This was later allegedly proven to be just a made-up rumor. I don't know what's going on because it's Dave Meltzer, the big wrestling
observer,
the premier,
yes, the premier,
the premier wrestling reporter.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody said that they called him out for fabricating this story.
Yeah, well, I read onto the storyline and everything, and what I heard was Vince McMahon is just no longer Balor. It's not one of his favorites anymore. Like he thinks it's not going to bring in a lot of people. It's not going to bring in the crowd that he wants. And of course, Vince is the one who says it all at the end of the night. He's the one who makes the decisions. He wants bigger men,
He wants bigger men.
Bigger men, yes. But he wants giants to fight each other for that universal title. That's his thing. Now, if it was Triple H talking about it, oh yeah, this would have gone. But it's just, I wouldn't want Finn Balor to be in this, even if he was going up against Brock Lesnar.
I want to see
because
Finn,
they would have. Well, I'm sorry.
I want to see Finn versus Brock just at WrestleMania. I don't.
Yeah.
I don't want.
But do you want him to be Finn Balor or do you want him to be Demon Balor? Because obviously
it would have been interesting.
Because now
if he would have just faced him as regular Finn Balor at WrestleMania and then at Royal Rumble and then the Demon. But I don't think he'd have a choice.
They'd have to give it Demon because
no matter if he's faced this opponent before or not, he's gonna be the Demon.
Yeah, because that's how the formula.
It doesn't matter if he's in the Andre Battle Royal, he's going to be the Demon.
Because that's how the formula works for Finn Balor. Oh, I can't beat you as regular Finn Balor, so on our rematch, I have to be Demon Balor. Yeah, just make him the Demon. Just make him Demon Balor from now on.
At the big shows where he's not on a team.
Yeah.
So that was the biggest. Who knows what's going on there? It's all speculation. Speaking of speculation, keeping on the theme of Royal Rumble, there's been a lot of speculation about a women's Royal Rumble.
Yeah, I've heard about this.
And also a women's elimination chamber. Let's stick with the Rumble real quick as far as addressing the rumors.
Yeah.
About that. I personally, I don't want to see, and this is nothing against women. I just don't want to see a women's Royal Rumble.
Mike, you've never been a fan of. I'm being honest with you, and you know you were right. You like watching wrestling, you do, but when it comes to the women, you just.
Okay, here's the thing. I like watching wrestling. I also like watching women, but not so much at the same time. I don't know. I'm not like an anomaly.
No. But you're very Andy Kaufman when it comes to that type. You are when it comes to that type of.
I'm more Tony Clifton.
Tony Clifton.
I am. I don't.
No,
know
but you're more like no. You're right. Women have it all set up.
Listen,
they should be scrubbing the potatoes. They should be cooking all the dinners.
Compared to my brother John, I'm the biggest women's wrestling fan of all time. All right, let me just put that out. No, they can put on a good show. I like cheering for the ladies, especially who've worked hard to be there. Yeah, I love seeing that, like the Baileys and the Becky Lynches. They like.
Be honest, you're Alexa Bliss.
Can I just talk? God
Sorry.
Damn it. But I don't think it would be that bad. I just don't really have much interest in these characters, and that's not my fault. That's the writers.
Yes,
I will blame them wholeheartedly.
And I totally agree with you on that.
But there's it's stupid mark speculation because Paige brings up 2 women from NXT with her. And then suddenly it's, they're getting the roster bulked up for a women's Royal Rumble. Mm-hmm. And then, and then SmackDown's like, oh, it's definitely got to be a Rumble. And then supposedly there was like The Sun, the British tabloid, officially said they leaked it or whatever. But, first of all, I don't see it happening. I think it's just wild speculation. Secondly, women typically don't do over the top rope. So it would just, and that's kind of the fun of it. If it was just kick them out of the ring any old way. Okay. Another thing, the Rumble itself takes over an hour.
Yeah. So you would just have 2 matches.
We would just have like an hour of women wrestling and then an hour of men wrestling. That would get boring. It would make the men's Rumble even more tedious because this is like we just sat through a Rumble. They'd have to change things up. They'd either have to make the time increments between each wrestler. They'd have to narrow it to or reduce it to like 30 seconds or something like that, or they'd have to reduce the number of opponents. Then that they could possibly do it like that. If they keep it 30, what was it? Is it still 90 seconds?
Still 90 seconds every 2 minutes.
Yeah, that would be pain.
Yeah.
So I don't think it's going to Elimination Chamber.
Yeah, but even when you watch the Royal Rumble, when they're like halfway through it, it's like there's no way 2 minutes just went by. Like it goes fast.
Oh, it's 90 seconds.
Well, 90 seconds. I mean, 90 seconds says, yeah.
Well, obviously 2 minutes didn't go by.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
I don't know. Yeah. So anyway, as far as Elimination Chamber is concerned, I don't want to see this match. I don't know. Seeing the women get all busted up and bloodied and
that's not a thing. You don't like that.
I don't care for it. Anyway. What else? Finn. I forgot. I should have had a graphic for it. Finn Balor. Another Finn Balor.
Another Finn Balor? There's only one Finn Balor. There can be only one Balor.
We're gonna be talking a lot about Finn Balor.
Yes.
As we should.
Mm-hmm.
Because Finn Balor is great. He had a really great tweet where he called out Roman for the IC title.
Oh yeah.
And I thought that was cool. But of course nothing happened with it. I'm glad because let Elias be fodder for Roman Reigns.
Mm-hmm.
To have his first loss to and I think everyone's in agreement that Elias looked great tonight against Roman Reigns.
Yes, he did.
So there you go. So it works. That's how that's how you build wrestling companies. You have when in a match like that, Roman wins, but Elias still looks really good. Everybody gets over.
There was a lot of good matches tonight on Raw. There was.
That's how you build a good roster. Mm-hmm. You make everybody look good. so that when they have matches, people actually care and they want to watch.
Yeah.
Nia Jax sent out a message about being body shamed. Did you see this?
Yeah, I did.
I actually have it. Let's see if I can. I'll just put it up on the screen. She said, I am subjected to body shaming, and it's something I have accepted. It sucks when you get it in your own backyard around people you're changing in front of and trust with your body. I am a healthy, bigger, and I can't. Hold on. I'm a healthy, bigger woman. I love my body. Body shaming is wrong. I totally agree with this 100%. However, I will add fat acceptance is even worse. Not that I'm calling her fat by any means.
She's not. She's not. No, she's not fat at all.
Listen. Remember when I almost said Awesome Kong. What a mark. Remember when Karma came to the WWE? I loved Karma.
She was awesome.
I thought she was great because she was so different. That's why I like Nia Jax. Aside from her wonderful entrance to the ring with the eyes. You guys,
look at my eyes.
Aside from that.
Yes.
What makes her great is she's different. And for a woman her size that can just move around like this, that's impressive.
Mm-hmm.
And she's not in that bad a shape. You know what I mean? She's not like...
I don't see anything wrong with her.
I don't want to go into this where we're just judging women's bodies because
I'm not judging or anything.
Territory.
That is, I'm not judging or anything. Nia Jax, there's nothing wrong with her.
Who was
She's beautiful.
In the Mae Young, the really big one.
The German, the big.
Well, no, the blonde.
Oh, the blonde one from England. Yes,
British,
yeah, British.
That's just on it. But like I said,
Nia Jax, there's nothing wrong with. I don't think
nobody should go around.
She looks perfect.
Nobody should go around making jokes.
No, nobody's better than anybody.
If they hurt somebody's feelings, like they obviously are mean or whatever. No, but at the same time, you shouldn't get to a point where you're just like, I'm like you just said, perfect. She's not perfect. She's obviously. This wouldn't be an issue if she was perfect.
I know, but what I'm saying to myself personally as a male, I find her attractive. I think
that's great. What I'm saying is you're going to have a much healthier, happier life if you're in shape more. Believe me, look at me. I'm about 70, 80 pounds overweight right now. I'm in pretty bad shape. I've never been down to your size. I don't think I'll ever be down. I could go
Cocaine's
on a diet
drug.
for and work out for every day for 2 years straight, and I probably still never be down to your size. You know what's funny? Is I was just thinking about this the other day. I made a joke a long time. It was about 15 years ago. Because once again, we've known each other forever now.
Yeah.
I made a joke about you being skinny one time, and you were just like really mad about it. And I never dawned on me that would ever be offensive to anybody because I've been on the other side of that for so long. But I made a joke and you just got really mad. I remember, and that was the first time I'd ever thought, wow, somebody could not be, because I was just thinking, man, if I was Seth, I'd be so happy, because that's
because like you said, you were the other perspective. You're always a bigger guy. You always were.
It never dawned on me that could be offensive to anybody.
But now when I go to those high school reunions, wow.
Those high school reunions.
That's right. There was a hot dog eating contest going on, and I wasn't invited.
He goes to more than one. No, but, when I was lighter, man, waking up in the morning was so much more enjoyable.
Mm-hmm.
Just moving around, not being sluggish, Everything's better when you're in better condition and better shape, and that's what we all should strive to. And I'm not even talking about lifespan here. Here's the thing. If you're anybody, and this applies to anybody, because they're anybody.
They could be somebody.
They could be somebody. You've got somebody out there that cares about you. You really do. And you owe it to them to stick around as long as possible.
Yeah.
I've got 2 kids. They're big motivators for me. What about you, Kane? Kane's still not talking. No, I see what I did there. I got really serious and I lightened the tone.
Oh, there you go.
It was awkward, and I apologize. No,
That's what she said.
Just try to find something that's like, something you can just focus on.
Yeah.
Because fat acceptance is terrible. For just somebody to say, I'm perfectly fine the way I am. F you, you're the one with the problem. It's great to stick up for yourself. And I'm not saying anybody should be hurtful or say anything hurtful, but at the same time, don't let that don't let people's defense of you. How much? It's so late at night. I don't even have to words. Just fat acceptance is bad. Let's just
move on. You're just
I can't think
digging yourself deeper.
No,
Understandable.
I'm just look here. I've been there with the fat acceptance. I know how bad it can be. Everybody should just strive to make themselves. I look and I sound drunk. I apologize.
Because he is.
I'm the heel of this show.
That's right. He's the heel. Remember. All I'm saying is be happy with yourself. If you want to improve yourself, do it. If not, then that is your prerogative. Next.
I just personally wouldn't settle.
Yeah.
Sexy Star, our favorite.
Oh God, yes.
Indie wrestler.
Lucha. Mm-hmm.
It's my favorite indie wrestler.
Oh yeah, because you always watch her matches, Mike.
Well, no, it's just because I don't like any other. No, I'm just kidding. I love plenty of other indie wrestlers.
Okay, who?
Don't make a liar. Oh, just the ones I know personally, or the ones I know personally. I love.
Personally, okay.
The rest of them, no.
No, they sold out.
Don't care.
Don't care. All right. Yes. What about Sexy Star? What has she done now?
Was back in the news. She took some. I'm just thinking about that little ramble I went on earlier. Anyway, she was wrestling. Amazingly enough, this woman who gave her what I saw the video. Did you see the video?
I saw the video. Yeah,
Okay.
When you showed me the link, I directly watched it.
She got like a stiff kick to the head or something like that, and she just went off on this woman.
And it was beat her. I mean,
Sexy Star, if you're listening out there right now,
stop it.
I don't think wrestling's for you.
No, it's not.
I really don't. I think if you're not mature enough, and more importantly, professional enough, to handle a situation at the appropriate time, and believe me, she's not the first to go off on somebody in the ring for being stiff or doing the wrong movement or
This is her second incident for the same thing.
She's had too high of a profile of an incident already for her to just be doing things like this. She's got to use her head.
Yeah.
She had a perfectly fine wrestling career and a big, bright future ahead of herself.
She did, yeah.
And she's just throwing it all away.
WWE was actually looking at her for a while.
She's at the point now where, let's forget about WWE. Who's going to want to book this person now? You're talking, worse than bingo halls,
Ooh. Bingo halls, VFW, what do you call it? Yeah, geez, even high school. Yeah, nobody's going to want to hire her at all for this attitude. I think what she should do is leave professional wrestling and go to do MMA. Or go do boxing. She's a boxer. She's a boxer. I know that.
Or just go into real estate or something.
Do something. Go into therapy.
Something else.
Something.
Hey, there was a lot of rumors about Batista coming back to the
I was
WWE.
just listening to this on another podcast on my way up here.
You listen to other podcasts?
Well, yeah.
Who dare you?
Who dare you? I'm sorry, but I'm also a friendo.
Is that gay speak? I don't understand.
No. It's Steve and Larson. Steve here and Larson, friendos. They do Going in Raw. It's a podcast. Check it out. It's really good. But anyway, I was listening to that and they're talking about Batista.
Just listen to ours.
Just listen to us, yeah. Batista's not negotiations. He's talking to Vince about he wants to come back, but on his how he wants to do it.
Like I've heard he wants to come back full time.
Yes, he does. But the only thing he's worried about is if he gets injured or hurt, which might mess up his career as an actor. It's like, well, that's what you're going to get, man. Do you think?
Yeah, Batista's kind of doing this the opposite way.
Yeah. But he says he wants to do house shows. He wants to do it all. He wants to go back full time.
He when he came back the last time, it was pre Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah.
Excuse me. After Guardians of the Galaxy, man, everybody loved Batista. Then it was like I remember specifically thinking, why didn't he come back after Guardians? Because we all would have loved him then. We're like,
he would have been the face.
We'd have been like, yeah, sure, you can headline WrestleMania.
Mania?
We're cool with that. But no, he had to.
He'd have some type of, like his entrance music of some type of, Drax Guardians type thing against Brock Lesnar, the Beast.
I don't know about that,
but something like that.
I'm just saying that. Yeah, and then he did Guardians too, and then he was in Blade Runner. He's gotten a lot of praise for.
Oh yeah.
I didn't see the new Blade Runner.
It's not bad. I saw it. I liked it. It's very.
From what I understand, he has kind of a smaller role.
He does.
But even then, he got a lot of praise. He's kind of like on this upward, like angle, like as far as his stars getting bigger and bigger.
He also directs. He also directs. He writes. He produces.
Can't talk.
Sorry.
No, he's getting like more and more offers, I would assume.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, I want to go back and be a wrestler. It's like, okay.
I think he just misses it.
You know what I think it is? Batista's like 49, 50, something like that. He got into the wrestling business real late.
Yeah, he did.
He was in his mid 30s.
Yeah, because he was a bodybuilder. Yeah. So. Mm-hmm.
And that was back in 2003, 4. So he's got to be close to 50 if he's not already 50. Someone type what age
Dave Batista is.
Someone Google that. No. And so, yeah, he's got to be. So
he wants. I think he just wants to have one more run. Because what happens is what I think it was this. He saw Goldberg do it, and it was very successful.
He was born in '69. So let's do the math. What does that make him? Someone, what do you? He's 48. Okay.
Okay, there you go.
I think right now he's thinking to himself, honestly, if I'm going to do it, I have to do it now. Do it now. Because I'm going to be, dead. I'm going to be dead soon.
No, I think he saw the success and how good it worked for Bill Goldberg when he came back and won the title. Yeah. So he's like, I can do that too. And what I hear is he also wants to do a program with Triple H since they had so much history together.
Well, it would tie up a loose end of him.
With Legacy, yeah.
With him leaving.
Mm-hmm. But of course,
Legacy.
The minute...
What?
Well, what?
You said Legacy.
But that's their group they were with.
No,
Evolution. Why say Legacy? I'm sorry. Evolution.
That was your Seth moment of the night.
Yeah, I got tons of more. Trust me.
Tons of more.
Yeah, tons of more. See, that's another one. But if he does go back, Batista does go back, it's going to be the one match everybody wants to see, or I've heard people talk about they want to see. They want to see the Animal versus the Beast. Like,
are we still talking about Dan Severn?
No, we're talking about Brock Lesnar versus Dave Batista. Would that be successful?
Also in the news, The Miz is taking some time off.
Yeah.
At first, I thought it was because he's welcoming a child here pretty soon, but that's still not going to be for another few months. It's because he's filming the Marine 6.
Yeah, I heard about this.
Why are they making so many of these Marine movies?
Because people at Walmart buy them.
Okay, so John Cena was in the first one.
Yes.
Then it was Mr. Kennedy. Was he?
No, it wasn't Mr. Kennedy. It was Ted DiBiase.
But didn't Mr. Kennedy do one too?
No, he did Behind Enemy Lines.
Okay, you're right. And was Miz in the third one? There's only been 3 Marines, right?
Yeah,
3 leads.
It was John.
And then
Ted
DiBiase was.
Yeah, it was John Cena, Ted DiBiase, and then Miz.
This is going to be Miz's 4th.
Yeah.
I don't know if I've said this on the show. I think the only way you could really salvage this franchise is if you bring in Cena.
Like his character,
possibly DiBiase. Who cares?
Yeah.
And just have all the Marines together. But anyway, so it's The Miz and another Marine movie. The Miz is not a great actor.
He's not a great actor.
That's his old gimmick, and he's just not good. Maybe he knows it and he's just hamming it up. I don't know.
Well, he's a great wrestler. He's a great company man. He's an awesome IC champion. He is a Hall of Famer already. He's going to do great.
Without
So
a doubt.
yeah.
Without a doubt. Also in the news, there's a lot of. I don't know if they're just kind of spinning this. I don't have a picture. I'm just not prepared tonight. We didn't do a great job tonight. So I'm just it's like 38 minutes into the show. Kevin Owens having some kind of heat with Vince McMahon. They had that little documentary on him last week.
Oh yeah.
And there's that little moment where
365 days. Yeah.
After his match with Jericho, he went to Vince and said, "Are we good?" And Vince was like, "No." Just kind of dismissed him.
No.
So yeah,
and he just stares at him for like a good 10 seconds, like, okay.
What I don't think fans realize is, the stuff that goes on behind camera, it's just so different.
It's completely different. They still believe the story element goes behind the camera as well. It's like, that's still Kevin Owens, fight Owens fight, the coward fighter, that's his character. And he's like, no, it's just another 9-to-5 job, just like any other job. And they have to deal with drama just like anything else.
Yeah. So before I move on to our little Raw review, I have a very special message for Kane.
Okay.
And Kane, I'm glad you're here tonight to hear this message. All right, Kane. I wish I had done a side by side with Kane. Let me change this real quick. Layer 2. Let's go to Kane. All right, there we are. Kane, on behalf of everyone here at Ringside Review, because I speak for everyone at Ringside Review.
He does.
You don't have to wear the wig. We know you're bald. You know that we know you're bald. You've made this. You've taken your wig off with your mask multiple times. Most recently, I think in the last couple of years, it was that whole bit where you went to corporate, Kane, and you took off your mask for. Here's what I'm saying. You've gotten to the point now where you're taking the mask on and off, and I get that because you're doing the whole corporate thing. You're doing the mayoral candidates for Knox County or whatever. By the way, how do you run for mayor of a county? I don't get that. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. We know it's the mask. We kind of understand because that's like
your shtick.
That's like psychological for you. Mm-hmm. But even Finn Balor takes off the wig when he gets into the ring.
Yeah,
you don't need the wig. It first of all, it can't be comfortable. It's more or less, it's kind of distracting and embarrassing. So, on behalf of everyone at Ringside Review, please, Kane,
stop it.
Just don't wear the wig anymore. It's not working. Anyway, back to Ringside Review.
Okay, back to what we were talking about, folks.
And Seth, give us the quick Raw rundown.
All right, quick. Raw rundown. I like that.
Raw rundown, where we have fan acceptance.
Thank you.
I'm just saying, fan acceptance. This is what.
It's horrible. It's horrible.
Listen,
we're doing it live.
Heart disease kills more people than anybody.
Yes.
Okay, and a lot of that has to do with fan acceptance. It's just dangerous.
Okay. Okay, Raw is War. We are in Tennessee. Okay, opened with a video package of Braun Strowman versus Kane. Kane, what you did to him 2 weeks ago with the chair. You injured Braun Strowman, disappeared for a while. And then opening segment, Roman Reigns, new Intercontinental Champion. Nothing but boos from the crowd. Roman celebrating his championship win over The Miz, and he starts the open challenge for the IC title like John Cena used to for the United States title on SmackDown. The Miz Taraj shows up, and they say, we're in no condition of fighting. Fighting you.
Why is Bo Dallas in no condition to fight?
I have no idea why.
I know Curtis Axel's playing off the
injured
brace,
neck, yeah,
which he should have been healed up
by now. Yeah,
but I get it. It's a whole Bobby the Brain thing where you're keeping the neck brace on.
Yeah,
I get that. What's wrong with Bo Dallas? It's still his meningitis still bothering him?
I don't know. I don't know.
Because Bray Wyatt and Roman... Anyway, go ahead.
Well, anyway, the Miz Taraj shows up.
Elias came out.
Elias shows up and he teams up with the Miz Taraj and he accepts the challenge. So later tonight for the main event, well, one of the second hour main event, was going to be Elias wrestling Roman Reigns for the IC Championship. Then after that, Seth Rollins' music comes on. He high fives Roman Reigns as he's about to wrestle Cesaro. So we have a impromptu Seth Rollins versus Cesaro match. The reason why Dean Ambrose isn't there is he's on vacation on his honeymoon. He just married Renee Young, so. And also something with the reason why Sheamus isn't there, he has his mandatory sabbatical.
Mandatory.
That's what Michael Cole kept saying.
I don't think he used the term mandatory.
No, he did. On his mandatory sabbatical, like, what? Okay, whatever. Seth Rollins goes over, wins the match. It was a good match, too. It was a good length. Like we've always said, when Seth, Dean, Cesaro, Sheamus are wrestling each other, they always put on good matches. Their spots are amazing, and they connect very well with each other. On to the next. We have a 205 segment with the Zoe Train. Did I miss this? What? The Zoe Train?
That's like his stable.
Okay. Anyway, Samoa Joe versus Titus O'Neil. Of course, you would figure it's a squash match. It is. Samoa Joe destroys Titus O'Neil with a coup de grace. And, not coup de grace, I'm sorry. See, now I can't even think right now. Oh, wow. Samoa Joe destroys Titus O'Neil and Apollo Crews. Because Apollo Crews was there on ringside. And, he's unstoppable. Then he just walks out of there with the Keto Clutch is what it was. My apologies. Alexa Bliss shows up as a special guest commentary because we were going to have a 3 women's tag match. It was going to be Bayley, Mickie James, and Sasha Banks versus Mandy Rose, Paige, and Sonya Deville. With, like I said, Alexa Bliss as special guest commentary. Unfortunately, there is no Mickie James or Bayley because they both got jumped by. Here it is, folks. Their new name is called Absolution.
Okay.
I'm waiting for it. That's why I said that.
They should have been called the Page Turners. Just to be stupid. No, hey, did you talk about the Rollins Cesaro match at all? You just kind of skipped over that.
No, I did. I talked about it.
I missed that.
Yeah, you missed that.
That was a good
Where are
match.
you? It was. I said it was a very good match.
Why would anybody be shocked by that? I don't know.
Like I said, when those 4 competitors always wrestle each other, it's good matches. So Paige shows up with her group. What happened to Nikki and Bella? They both got.
And the crowd kind of died.
Crowd got. I'm not gonna lie. It's good
I'm
to
about
see.
to die. Just hurry through this stupid Raw review.
When Paige.
Run down.
Okay.
Something.
It's good to see Paige again. I will give her that. It's awesome to have that again. But it's boring now. Like, you miss me. Okay, we get it. You're the bad little girl.
For you, as far as Paige is concerned, she's always been boring. This isn't new. Anyway, go ahead.
Okay. Let's see. Oh, and by the way, Bray Wyatt is here. So Bray.
That's what I wanted to talk about.
Good.
Bray Wyatt
I'm getting drunk.
is back, and that was one of my my notes for news this week.
Yeah.
Is where's Bray? Because everybody else sort of has come back. I didn't catch the beginning of his promo, which.
It just didn't. He just started babbling, starts making sense. Yeah.
I try to avoid his promos as much as possible because he's terrible on the microphone, and everybody thinks he's so like Charles Manson-esque, or he's making points, but he's so creepy and methodical. He's just rambling. Really,
I gotta agree with you on that.
It's nonsense.
It's just jabber. It's just jibber jabber.
Did he acknowledge Finn Balor at all?
Nope.
Okay, so they're just skipping over.
They skipped that whole thing. The Sister Abigail thing never existed.
How do you just go from like threatening to dress like a woman to like just not? I don't know. It's kind of weird. Anyway.
Well, remember that's one thing the WWE is consistency and continuity. They're not good at that.
So anyway,
they never have been. Okay.
Since the Hardys came back for Broken Matt Hardy.
Yes, that's
not just that. Okay, we've been waiting for that. But
yes.
We've also been waiting for Matt Hardy versus Bray Wyatt. That was the match we've all been looking for. the Wyatt, the crazy Wyatt versus the crazy Matt Hardy. This should be great. And they had it on a random Raw right in the middle of the show, and the match started.
It started
during the commercial break.
Yes.
And then the whole story was Matt's heart hasn't been into any of these matches, and then it just looked like, and then Bray Wyatt just
does Sister Abigail. He finishes him off,
beats him, and
clean, and it was a clean victory too.
That looked like it was going to be it, and then the camera stayed on Matt Hardy, and he started yelling delete.
He starts doing the delete, and he's going crazy.
You know what's funny about this is he's been saying delete since he's got there.
Yes.
This isn't anything new, but suddenly Michael Cole's like, is Matt Hardy having some kind of a breakdown? It's like, then he's been having a breakdown for the past 6 months.
No kidding.
It's like, but it's written in the script. He's about to have a breakdown or whatever.
Yeah, they don't have the rights anymore to it. Like I said.
There was news about that. About how they can use that gimmick now.
They can use the gimmick now. Okay, good. All right.
They're all good now.
I hope we see Broken Matt.
Hopefully we saw the start of that.
The start of, Broken Matt Hardy. Let's see what happens after that. There's a 205 segment.
Move on to the next thing.
Yep. Fatal 4-way. Don't care. Who wants to walk with Elias? Elias has a duet with
Elias versus Roman Reigns. And we've talked about this already. Everybody looked good.
It was a great match.
And then Samoa Joe came out and choked out Roman.
Yes, he did with the coquina clutch. And that's like, good. Finally, we have
I think it's cool that these two are getting like a real story.
Yes.
Yeah, but if it was just me and I was on the booking committee, I would have said, Let's stretch out this Roman versus random opponents for a couple more weeks, just till we get closer to the Rumble, because there is no Raw pay-per-view until the Rumble. So you've got time. You've got 2 months. So stretch it out a little bit. Have him face. I don't know who's another heel.
Well, the Miz is gone right now, and Bo Dallas doesn't wrestle.
Like either like Cesaro,
or give Bray Wyatt another chance. He can eat a pin. Give it to Bray Wyatt.
Although Bray Wyatt versus Roman again, I don't know if I want to see that.
You can't give it to Braun Strowman anymore. He's a face now.
You could even throw an Enzo in there and say, "Hey, I'm going to be a double champ. Give me
the
IC." Just some, and then put Samoa Joe. But Samoa Joe's there now, so at least it's not an exact copy of the John Cena U.S. Open Challenge. So then after that, what happened after that?
Like you said, he choked him out with the coquina clutch, and next was an Asuka squash match, like really fast, super fast.
We're going to be talking a little bit more on that subject here in a little bit.
Yes.
But, yeah, that was bad.
Dana Brooke says, I found her flaw. I can get her. And then when the bell rings, she just throws her over, and Ronda Rousey, boom, armbar. She taps out. It's over. Less than like 30 seconds.
And then we get to the main event, right?
No, not yet. There's just one thing. Then Absolution shows up again. And they're about to jump Asuka. And then they stop, and they walk away. And Asuka's like, okay. And that was it.
What was funny was the Twitter exchange between Asuka and Paige.
Yeah.
Is that
she's very well protected.
Said something to Paige along the lines of, "I guess you weren't ready for Asuka either," which is a direct reference to the Leo Rush tweet. Where that got him in such hot water. It's hilarious to me that she referenced that.
Oh, it's awesome.
So the main event was Kane versus Finn?
No, it was Kane versus Jason Jordan.
Oh, did they actually do that match?
They did that match. And once again,
why did Finn come out there?
Jason Jordan's leg broke down again, his knee, like when he tried to pick up Braun. He did the same thing to Kane. Kane threw him over the top rope, and he landed on his busted knee twice. And then he got counted out.
Why was Finn out there then?
Then all of a sudden, he starts hurting him again, throwing the chair, about to really destroy Jason Jordan. And then Finn Balor shows up. And then Michael Cole has to explain to the audience, well, a couple of weeks ago, Kane and Finn Balor had a
lover's quarrel.
Pretty much. And now he's back for.
So it wasn't a real match.
It was a match. And then he got counted out. 10 count. Kane won it by 10. And then Finn Balor shows up.
No, I'm saying Finn Balor versus Kane wasn't a real match.
No, it was a real match because he says during the commercial break,
it was a real match.
Yeah, Kurt Angle came out and said, it's going to be a match.
Well, the match was interrupted by Braun Strowman toward the end, right before Kane was about to,
Destroy, Finn Balor, bury him again.
And then Braun hurt Kane's throat with the chair.
He did the exact same thing.
Are you feeling better now, Kane? I heard a little bit. What was that? I don't think he's there yet. You want to go ahead, Seth?
Beer. What was that? Did you say
the
beer?
The camera's on you now.
Oh, dang it. Okay.
People are going to start thinking it's an action figure.
Oh, my God.
No.
Well, Finn Balor gets destroyed. Kane and Braun Strowman show. They fight each other, destroys Kane, and it awkwardly ends. They just follow Kane, through the crowd. And for about a good 5 minutes, it's like, okay, is this over yet? Is there going to be a payoff? No, theme song, Braun Strowman. Okay, well, we're still looking at Kane, and it ends. And that was your Raw.
Well, the most important thing is that
you don't do drugs.
It's time for the tweet spot.
Tweet times.
We'll be back after this short break.
And we dance.
Tonight. Oh, no, we'll be back after this short break, and we'll finish the show. How's that sound? This is the tweet spot. Enjoy. We dance all
day. We dance.
All right, that's enough.
We dance. Sorry, what's going on in there?
If you're watching this on
Never
YouTube,
stop in the middle of a hoedown, Lisa.
Well, I was going to say, I noticed last week on YouTube, they don't have the music at all.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just silence, awkward silence.
And us singing a terrible lady song.
Instead of just awkwardness like we bring. Seth, we're going to talk about this day in wrestling history.
In wrestling history. What happened?
Well, 31 years ago today, Starrcade, Night of the Skywalkers was presented. The infamous pay-per-view with Jim Cornette fell from the scaffold and messed up his knee or leg or whatever it was.
It's not a pretty fall either. I've seen it.
Nobody caught him.
Nobody caught him.
But yeah, 31. That was 31 years ago today.
Jim, I hope your knee's better.
Yeah. 26 years ago, The Undertaker won the WWF title away from Hulk Hogan, his first world title victory. 26 years ago in 1991.
I remember seeing that match live.
Pretty amazing.
It was great.
The crowd were
they were scared.
They were behind Taker.
Yeah, they were.
Go back watch it.
Oh yeah.
12 years ago, we had a Survivor Series. It aired, and it was the first pay-per-view since Eddie Guerrero's death, and featured the main event of Team SmackDown versus Team Raw. Team SmackDown, of course, consisted of, and I texted this to you last night because I thought it was such an odd time. It was really a sad time for WWE. Team SmackDown was Batista, Rey Mysterio, JBL, Bobby Lashley, and Randy Orton. And Team Raw was Shawn Michaels, Kane, and The Big Show, who were both tag team champions.
Yeah.
Carlito and Chris Masters.
Wow.
Carlito and Chris Masters, man.
Well, Carlito, we've seen him recently on Glow. He plays one of the brothers with Brutus Clay, who teaches the girls how to wrestle.
Brutus Clay. Brutus Clay.
Yes.
So yeah, that was a interesting time. 2 years ago today, Kurt Angle announced his retirement on TNA
Oh, on TNA. Yes. Okay, I must say.
He announced his retirement. 2 years ago today, Nicole Bass put up a GoFundMe page to keep herself from being evicted out of her house.
Wow.
That's how bad things have gotten.
Oh.
I wonder what she's doing now. If you know Nicole Bass, have her write to the show so we know how she's doing.
I hope you're doing okay, Nicole. I hope it's not the business that I think it is.
Her WWE career didn't go that great. We need to have one of these. We'll have a retrospective on Nicole Bass's WWE career, which I believe started at WrestleMania 15 when she escorted Sable to the ring.
Uh-huh.
And I think she only lasted like a month or something like that. They said she had a bad attitude and refused to learn any of the business, something like that.
Because they were trying to build her up to go against China, I think.
They should have just had her as a bodyguard.
Yeah, that's it. I agree.
They shouldn't have had her try to take any bumps. She wasn't trained.
She wasn't.
It's really ridiculous because sometimes, and Drew McIntyre suffered from this as well.
Yeah, that's why
where they try to
titles,
rush somebody in.
Mm-hmm.
But even Nicole Bass had no knowledge.
She had no knowledge of wrestling whatsoever. She was just a bodybuilder.
Yeah. So, happy birthday to the British Bulldog, Davey Boy Smith, celebrating a birthday today. Rest in peace. Who was it last week or a couple weeks ago? We declared him the greatest.
We declared him the greatest United Kingdom. Yeah.
No, it was the. Well, no, yeah, it was. I think it was last week because the week before we decided who was the greatest Survivor Series team.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Hey, speaking of the greatest ever, one thing that we are known here at Ringside Review is we crown just what is the greatest, the best, the king, the queen, whatever it is. When we say it, it's official.
Yes, it's
Today
official.
We're going to be talking about squash matches.
Ooh, okay.
You ready for this, Seth?
Let's do this.
There's 3 big ones.
Yeah.
All right, there's 3 big ones I'm going to get to. But before I get to, here's some honorable mentions for you.
Honorable mentions, folks.
Brock Lesnar versus Zach Gowen in SmackDown 2003, where Brock Lesnar basically destroyed Smack Gowen in front of his mom.
Oh, yeah, the one-legged guy.
Yeah, so... Yeah, in front of his mom.
In front of his mom, no doubt. I remember us laughing so hard watching that match.
I wasn't laughing. You're a monster. I'm not.
No, I'm a realist.
Another one of note just happened last year. Braun Strowman versus Ellsworth.
Poor
James
Ellsworth.
Made his career. That one squash match that made his whole career. It was
in the WWE.
It worked out for him.
No, he's gone now.
Sheamus versus Daniel Bryan at WrestleMania 28. It was the one where they were going for the record, but they took too much time in the beginning and it sort of messed everything up. Which I think, if you look back on it, I think that was deliberately done by Daniel Bryan.
Yeah,
I think he sabotaged that so that it wouldn't get the record. Because that's the only reason Vince wanted them to have such a short match. He just wanted bro kick and then lay it out.
Laid out Daniel Bryan, no longer the champ.
I think he did that just so they wouldn't get the record.
Yeah.
For shortest match.
But Vince has never been a Daniel Bryan fan, so.
Ultimate Warrior versus Triple H at WrestleMania 12. This one does not count to me. Because I think for a proper squash match. By the way, for the novice fans out there, why you've made it an hour into the show, I don't know.
Congratulations,
Perhaps
you're
we'll
no
cut
longer
this up
novice.
as sort of a tutorial for fans. What a squash match is, it's a match that is ended fairly quickly, not necessarily completely one-sided, but generally one-sided. It's basically where an opponent who is usually getting a push squashes or defeats his or her opponent in a very short time.
Short amount of time.
It's very dominant.
Like the Asuka match tonight on Raw.
Yes, Asuka versus
Dana Brooke. Yeah.
That would be considered a squash. And that was a great squash because
it
was only a few seconds. So that's what we're doing today. We're talking about squash. I don't think the Triple H, and it's because I do some research, actual research, when I'm researching other people's what they consider the best squash matches, and this pops up on a lot of lists. It was WrestleMania 12, recipes. Triple H versus Ultimate Warrior. I don't consider this a squash match because Triple H just got way too much offense in. He
Yeah.
got a pedigree in. You know,
Yeah, he did.
Of course, Ultimate Warrior
Well,
didn't sell it.
He didn't sell it or anything. He just got back up.
He just got back up, but still,
Yeah.
he got way too much offense in for it to be considered a squash.
Mm-hmm.
This is my personal thing. Another one that pops up on some people's list is Hollywood Hogan versus Kevin Nash.
Oh, the Finger of Doom?
The Finger of Doom. I believe this was the first Nitro of '99. Don't consider this a squash match because this was basically just Kevin Nash laying down for Hogan, which never really was explained. You know what the problem? You know why this has become infamous is because it was never explained. So you could easily interpret this into being Hulk Hogan having a magic finger that could you know, like some kind of, he had the proper pressure points on Kevin Nash, and I just set his body down. But Kevin Nash was celebrating with him afterwards. Kevin Nash wanted to give. I know, I hear that too.
Mm-hmm.
I think there's a T-Rex.
Don't move.
Could that be the heater cutting on?
The heat is on.
Yeah, we'll probably finish the show up here now because we've got dinosaurs outside the building. No,
Cool.
but here's what I remember thinking what was going on at the time was Kevin Nash wanted to give Hogan the title.
Yeah.
Because they were bringing back the NWO.
Yeah.
And that was kind of their deals. They were not the bringing back. They were uniting the NWO.
The two factions.
And that was part of the deal was that Hogan would be the captain and he'd have to have the title.
Well, all three they had creative control of their own character. All of them did. So it was no problem.
But because they never really explained it, people kind of made their own speculations.
Mm-hmm.
But that was not a squash match because Kevin Nash was in on it. I don't think. All right, so here are the big three. Are you ready?
Ready.
I will tell you the most recent. I'll work my way backwards. Most recent, Goldberg versus Brock Lesnar, last year's Survivor Series. That is a squash
That's
match.
a squash match, yes.
The fact that he squashed Brock Lesnar is kind of amazing.
Yes.
But that was indeed a squash match. One of the highest profile main events of the year.
I remember we were watching it.
Yeah, we tried to watch.
We tried to watch
and
it.
then the network went out on us.
And the next thing you know, it's
I
like
tried restarting the PS4, and by the time it restarted, the match
was already over.
Something was wrong or whatever. And then we went back and watched it. And it was only like a minute long, something like that.
Yeah, minute 20, minute 30.
Yeah, it was. That's considered a squash match. It's one of the higher profile ones. I think it's a contender for greatest squash match of all time. Next one, Big Daddy Diesel versus Bob Backlund at the Madison Square Garden house show in 1994 when he won the WWF title. Basically kicked him in the gut, gave him a powerbomb,
pinned him.
And then won the match.
Won the match, yeah.
Pretty bad. However, and you can disagree. It's fine to disagree, Seth. I don't think that's the greatest squash match ever. Although it's
then what is?
I think if it had been televised, it all comes full circle. We talk about untelevised things. In my opinion, the greatest squash match of all time. Let's see if you agree with me. Ultimate Warrior versus the Honky Tonk Man at SummerSlam '88 when he won the Intercontinental
Champion. Yeah.
I personally think this is the greatest squash match ever because, and I'll tell you a reason. Oh, first of all, let's review the match. I think Honky said he's going to put this title up against anybody who'd come down to the ring.
Mm-hmm.
Ultimate Warrior comes out. It's one of the biggest pops I think ever.
Yeah.
People just couldn't wait. Warrior was so over at the time.
Oh, yeah.
This was still a good year and a half before.
Almost 2 years before he won the championship against Hogan. Yeah.
Before WrestleMania 6. So, but still at the time, he was just so hot. And he came down to the ring and he just squashed Honky Tonk Man, who had the title. And this is what I take into consideration. For over a year,
mm-hmm.
I've had so much knowledge just stuffed in my head. Stuff is starting to pop out in my ears. I want to say 2 years. That can't be right. I think it was a year. The IC title because he wouldn't drop it for anybody.
Nobody.
It had something to do with his contract. If you go back and read what was going on backstage,
mm-hmm.
and he refused to drop it to a few select guys, which I think may or may not have been Jake the Snake. I don't know. Anyway, no, I'm just trying to scramble my brain and think. But I think because of the lengthy title reign, I think because of how hot Warrior was at the time, not physically, although you may think he was physically. I personally, since I'm a heterosexual man, I can't tell another man isn't attractive. No, I'm talking about just as far as popularity is concerned. He was so over at the time. The title reign ended. It was such a surprise. Then you could say, you can make that argument for the other two candidates, the Lesnar versus Goldberg, and of course Diesel versus Backlund. It was a complete surprise.
Yeah.
Diesel versus Backlund was an even bigger surprise because it was at a house show. And even back in '94, that wasn't expected.
No, not at all.
And it was for the world title on top of that. And then Lesnar versus Goldberg, nobody saw that coming.
I didn't.
That was a rematch, almost 20 years in the making. Well, let's be honest with you. I think it was only like 12, 14 years, something like that. Okay. Over 10 years in the making. And for Goldberg, who hadn't been in the WWE in over, 10, getting close to 15 years, that was a big shock. He just came in and just dominated like that. So I think they each have their shock value. However, this is what I base my decision on why I think Warrior versus Honky Tonk Man is the greatest. Entertainment value. Because when it comes to wrestling matches, it doesn't matter stipulations, who's got the best technical skill, who's the biggest, who's the strongest. What it comes down to is entertainment value. That's what Vince McMahon was talking about when he said sports entertainment. I think personally, Warrior versus Honky Tonk Man has the best entertainment value because that's still a match that after 30 years, I'll still go back and watch, and I still enjoy watching it.
They'll just mark out and have a great time.
Oh, it's great. When Warrior comes down running down, and then he presses Honky Tonk Man, and then jumps on top, and it gets the 3 count. It's just amazing. Yeah, it's and those other 2 matches, they were great. Great moments in WWE history. But yeah, I think give Goldberg versus Lesnar another 30 years. We'll see then. But I just think because
I agree with you on that one.
Yeah.
And the reason why is when it came to Bill Goldberg and Brock Lesnar, we missed out on on watching it live, a live cast of it, because the app wasn't working. So it's like, oh, okay, now we know. Okay, we go back, and because it's already been spoiled, so we didn't get to see the match. But I remember seeing Honky Tonk Man, and he was always a champion. I mean, just when I first started watching wrestling back in the 80s, he was already the IC champ. I don't even remember who he took the belt from. But when Warrior ran, do you remember?
I think it was Sammy from In Your House Sports. That's who he took the title from.
Oh, that's what it is. So, but when he did that, Ultimate Warrior, I mean, like I said, Ultimate Warrior was just on top of his game. He was the one who just ran in there, hitting the ropes, running back and forth, and then just does his 3 moves, 1, 2, 3, it's over, and runs right away back into the into the crowd. It was great. So yeah, I agree with you.
I think someone just pointed out Cena versus Lesnar. It was at SummerSlam a few years ago.
Yeah,
a lot of people consider that a squash match. I think Cena, if we're talking squash matches, technically I guess it's considered a squash match. I still think Cena got way too much offense.
He did
for it to be considered, but that's just me. So that's it. We both agree.
I agree with you. Ultimate Warrior and Honky Tonk Man.
Ultimate Warrior, SummerSlam. Lisa Needs Braces, 1988 is the greatest squash match of all time. Congratulations.
Awesome. Congrats.
Warrior. But yeah, that's it for us tonight. We're going to go home. We're both going to cuddle up in bed with each other. No, I'm just kidding. Am I? Kane. Goodbye, Kane. I know you didn't have a lot to say.
Goodbye.
But, that was a little sweet. I say a little. Not very much, though.
All right, Mike.
All right, Seth.
Wrestling fans out there, stay smart.
Or don't. See if we
or
care.
don't.
All right, good. Is the music playing?
Music's not playing.
I don't know why the music's not playing. That's weird. Should we just sing the theme song? No, that's not. So that's it from Ringside Review. Be sure to join us for more hot air programming. We've got the Michael McBride Show with Michael McBride coming up this Wednesday.
That's right.
Same bat time.
Same bat
Same
channel.
bat Facebook. 11 p.m. Central Standard Time. You're not going to miss that.
And remember,
Friday night, who knows what's going to happen Friday night.
Friday night, man.
We have so much discussing to do with Byron Hardman about the future of the way of the weeaboo. It's not doing well.
I heard it's not.
It's not doing well. But that's it for Hot Air tonight. Thank you very much.
Well, take care, everybody, and I bid you anon.